In this lecture of accounting series, I would like to discuss about the trading account and the profit and loss account. And you know, the trading account is related with the direct expenses, and on the other hand, profit and loss account is related with the indirect expenses. And by constructing the trading account and the profit and loss account, an accountant like to represent the information to the manager what should be the policy for the betterment of the company. So I discussed this problem with an accounting problem that is a mathematical problem, and we will try to solve this problem and look at the mathematical problem in the blackboard. Here the particulars are given. Particulars means opening stock, purchases, wages, sales, office salaries, office rent, discount allowed, discount earned, and closing stock. These are the particulars. Okay, and these are the information regarding the opening stock 15,000 for department A, because this problem is related with the interdepartmental. Okay, so now particulars for opening stocks for department A is 15,000, and for department B it is 20,000, and as a whole you can sum these two, then you can have 35,000. And purchases is 30,000 for department A and department B respectively, and total is 60,000. And wages for department A is 10,000, and for department B is 5,000. And as a whole, the total of wages is 15,000. Now sales is for department A is 50,000, and for department B is 40,000, and total is 90,000. And now there is another parts. For example, so office salaries, office rent, discount allowed, and discount earned. For these you can have no information departmentally. Okay, so these are gaps. There is gaps. And as a total, for office sellers it is 40,000, and for office rent it is 30,000, and for discount allowed for 9,000, and for discount earned 20,000. And closing stock is 30,000 for department A and 50,000 for department B, and total is 80,000. So there are other informations in this problem, and that informations are office staff ratio 1:1. It means for department A and department B the ratio is 1:1, and area occupied by the two departments is also 1:1 for department A and department B respectively. And now the third information is depreciation on furniture of rupees 10,000 at 5%, and depreciation on machines of rupees 60,000 at 10%. These are the informations. And number 4 information is that interdepartmental transactions, it means department A to B is rupees 10,000. So this is the problem, and the information is given, and on that basis of the information we should form a trading account as well as a profit and loss account. So we solve this problem with this given information. So now this is the tabular form of trading account. Okay, so whatever information we have in our problem, among this information, that is in the particulars, there are some direct expenses, and that are included in the trading account, direct expenses. So what are the direct expenses? Opening stock, purchase, wages, and interdepartmental transactions, interdepartmental transfer, and sales and closing stocks. These are the indirect expenses. So this should be considered in the trading account. Now look, in your information, in your problem, the opening stock for department is 15,000 and for department B it is 20,000. So this part in the trading account is the debit. Okay, is the debit side, and this is the credit side. Okay, this is the credit side. Debit side and credit side. Now, in debit side, the opening stock, what is the opening stock in our accounting understanding? Opening stocks actually the closing stock of the previous year. And this problem is actually 31st March 2024, the information up to in the year that is ended 31st March 2024. And so now the opening stock, that is 15,000 for department A, it is actually the closing stock. It is actually the closing stock previous year, in the previous year, and for department A, and for department B in the previous year, that is in the 2023, it was 20,000. So these are the opening stock. So opening stock is a purchase, because these stocks actually have been purchased in the previous year, and that was not sold. That was not sold at that time. So now it is in the financial year 2023. It was the closing price. Now it is closing stock. Now it is opening stock. So the purchase is there, and you know that if there is an increase in the purchase, it should be considered in the debit account. So opening stock is in the debit account. So opening stock for department A is 15,000 is in debit account, and for department B it is 20,000 in the debit account. And now the purchase, you know, the purchase is always, if there is an increase in the purchase, so it should be considered in the debit account. And so it is 30,000 for department A is in the debit account. I have put it in debit account, and for department B 30,000 also I have put in debit account, because if there is an increase in the purchase, so it should be considered as a debit. So now the wages is also a direct expense, and if there is an increase, it should be considered as a debit account. So wages also be put in the debit account. For department A is 10,000 and for department B is 15,000. So from the information given in the problem, I have written up to this. Okay. Now there is another information, that is the sales. So company sells their product, and if it sells, earns some money, revenue, and if there is an increase in revenue, so it should be in the credit account. If there is an increase in income, so it should be considered in the credit account. So by sales, we should write in such a way, particulars by sales for department A is 50,000 and for department B is 40,000. It is in the credit account. Now the closing stock. What is the closing stock? Closing stock actually it is not sold. It is not sold in the year that is ended in 31st March 2024. So it is you consider it as an asset, and so closing stock should be placed in the credit account, should be placed in the credit side, so closing stock that is mentioned in the problem for department A is 30,000 and for department B is 50,000, and I have put this information in credit side. Now there is another information, that is the interdepartmental transfer. So transfer from A to B, and that is rupees 10,000. If it is transferred from A to B, that is A sold its product to B and he earned some income, and as there is an increase in income for department A, and as there is an increase in income, so that should be considered as a credit for department A. And department A, there is a increase in income by selling its product to department B, and it is the purchase from the side of the department of B, and as it is an expense and there is an increase in the expense, so it should be considered as a debit and for department B. So I put the 1,000 in department B in debit side. So this is the information I have put. Now look at this. This is the trading account. This is the trading account. And now if you have a tally, so then you can find that the 40,000 and 50,000, it is the 90,000. Okay, 90,000, and here you can find. So what is the maximum? This is the 90,000. Okay, this is the 90,000, and now it is also the 90,000. 50,000, 30,000, and 10,000. It is also the 90,000. Okay, so it is the 90,000. So this is the total is 90,000, and for A and for B is 90,000. Now if you add these numbers 20, 30, 5,000 and 10,000, then this number, that is the 50,000 and 60,000, 50,000, 60,000 and 5,000, that is the 65,000 and 65,000, it is less than this. So we should, at first we should write this. Okay, and also we should write this here, because if you add these, it is 50,000, for example, it is, just a moment. So if you add these numbers, then you can find this number is less than 90,000, and because 30,000 and 10,000, 40,000 and 15,000, it is the 55,000. So if you subtract these from the 90,000, then you can have 35,000. 35,000. And now this side is 90,000. Okay. And now if you add these and subtract from 90,000, then it is the 25,000. Okay. So what is this? What is this? These are nothing but to gross profit. To gross profit. this is the information and that was given in the problem, and on that basis we have solved the trading account. Now we form the profit and loss account. So now the profit and loss account. So what is the profit and loss account? And here is the tabular form of the profit and loss account. Look, in particulars we have the 2 office salaries and 2 office rent, 2 discount allowed, 2 depreciation. These are to be considered in the profit and loss account. These are the indirect expenses. Now, 2 office salaries, you know, there is in the given information we have that 1:1, that is the employees ratio is 1:1 for department A and department B. And now it means the information we have given, that is the office salary is 40,000. So 1:1, it means 1/2. We have to multiply 40,000 by 1/2. Multiply with the 1/2. So it will be 20,000. 20,000 for department A and 20,000 for department B, because it is given in 1:1. Okay, so for office salary for department A, it is 20,000, and it is also 20,000 for department B. It is also 20,000. Now there is office rent. So office rent is related with the area of the office, and it is related. And this information also given in our problem, that is the area ratio is 1:1. So here also the same procedure, that is, and 30,000 as the total is given. So for department A, it is 15,000, because 30,000 multiplied with 1/2 is 15,000 for department A, and 30,000 multiplied with 1/2 it is also 15,000 for department B. So we should write in the debit side 15,000 and 15,000. Okay, so these all are the expenses. So these all are the expenses, salaries and rent expenses. So this as expenses increases, it should be considered as in the debit side. So we have put these values in the debit side. Okay, now another particle is the discount earned, and in the given information, that is the 20,000. I hope if you could remember that discount earned is 20,000, and it is related with the it is related with the purchase. It is related with the purchase, and from the purchase we have the ratio, that is 1:1. So and there is no other information, so they will be equally distributed. So discount should be equally distributed, and total is given is 20,000. So we have to 1:1. It means that 10,000 for department A and 10,000 for department B. Now we should write, and this should be considered in the credit account. This should be considered because the discount is earned, so it should be considered in the credit account. So discount, and by discount earned is 10,000, and it is also 10,000. Now another thing, what will be carry forward from the credit account to the profit and loss account? It is the gross profit. What gross profit we have found in the trading account, that is 35,000 for department A and 25,000 for department B. It should should be carried forward in the profit and loss account in the credit side. Okay, so 35,000 for department, 35,000 for department A, and 25,000 for department B. Okay, now there is another particular that is called the depreciation. So there is some information given in the depreciation. What is the information? Depreciation for furniture, and furniture is rupees 10,000 at 5%, and depreciation for machine is 60,000 at 10%. So 5,000, 10,000 at 5%, it means 500 rupees, and 60,000 at 10%, it is 6,000. So as a whole, the total depreciation is 6,500, and this 6,500 should be equally distributed between the two departments, because there is no information given related to this. So it should be to depreciation, it is 6,500 for department A and 6,500 for department B, and you know this should be put in the debit account, because this is the depreciation. Okay, this is the depreciation. It should be considered in the credit account. So now the total particulars, whatever particulars we have given in the problem, we have put all this in the debit and credit side. Okay, and following the trading account and the profit and loss account. Now we take the total of this. Now look, if you add these numbers, you should tally now. So if you add this number and these all numbers, naturally, if you add these numbers, the 20,000, 15,000, 4,000 and 6,500, it should be 45,500. And if you add all this number, it should be 46,500. Okay, so and naturally 46,500 for department A in the debit side is higher than the 35,000 and 10,000 is 45,000, 44,000, and so there is a net loss for department A, and there the loss will be 46,500 minus the sum of 35,000 and 10,000, and it should be 15,000. It should be 15,000, and it is nothing but by net loss. Okay. In the same way, it is the 45,500, and if you add these two, that is the 35,000. So also for department B, there is a loss. And it should be by net loss, and it should be 10,500 here. So now if you have this value, it is the 46,500 and 45,500. Okay, so the information, the calculation, the mathematics has been done by from the accounting side, and we have found that the department A and department B actually faced net loss in the financial year that ends in 31st March 2024. So using this information, the manager of the company will take the policy for the betterment of the company. So that's all from my side today, and thank you for enjoying this accounting session.